Hello everyone, welcome back. My name is Santosh Kumar and welcome to my channel Cyber Satrix. In the previous two parts, I have covered installation of Terraform on Windows and Linux operating system, introduction of Terraform, spinning up a basic infrastructure with the help of the documentation provided by Terraform so that it will be easy for every one of us to write a or develop a Terraform code. In this part, I'm going to cover how to write or develop a Terraform code so that you will be able to access the instance. I have shown two methods to do that. The first method is generating key pair using AWS console, and the second method is utilizing a putty generator to generate the key pair. Okay, so let's move forward. Okay, great. So we have seen how to spin up an instance, but there's a requirement that we need to access the instance or a virtual machine so that we can install the required application. So to do that, we have not configured anything yet on our Terraform code so that we can say, okay, so this VM can be accessed using a specific credential or the key pair. So let's quickly do that. There are two specific ways through which you can achieve the same. Let me show you the first way. In the first way, you need to go to the services EC2, and in the services on the home page, go to the network and security section and click on key pairs. Create a new key pair. Let me name this as instance hyphen Linux, and let me download a ppk file for that. Okay, so as you see, I have an instance -linux ppk created here. But now we have to use this, or we have to associate this key pair to our virtual machine which we going to access it. So let us do one thing. Let us create a new Linux and then associate that key pair with the same. I have already created a new file called as key_pair, and I've copied the exact code which we have utilized for spinning up new instance. I have the required authentication for the Terraform to access my AWS, and I have the resource required configuration to spin up a resource. If you see, I'll get an option key_name and assign this and give the key name of the key pair I've just created. So my key pair name is instance-linux. I'll just copy this and paste this here, right? Let me perform the Terraform. So just for the information, I have already terminated the older instance, and this will be going to create a new one. So we can again type Terraform plan, and this should show me the required resources are going to perform. So as it shows, it's saying it's going to create an instance name as Linux-instance, the unique ID to which it will be creating an AMI, and it will be the instance type will be t2.micro, and now additionally you should also add the key_name. Okay, it has not added it because I have not added this name under the code. So let me add this under the code and let me save it. Okay, and let me run the Terraform plan again. Okay, so I got this error because already I have this file created here, and that is why it's saying it's a duplication, because we should have a unique ID associated with each instance that we're going to spin up. So let me just comment this so that it should not be reading this file, Terraform file. So now let's go again and try Terraform plan. So now it should be creating a instance where the AMI is this, type is et2.micro, and the key name is instance-linux, through which we are going to access our virtual machine. So now let us apply the Terraform code that we have written. Okay, So now it is asking for my approval, so let me say yes. And it should be creating a Linux instance for me. Now let me go and validate. So now if you see, it is spinning up an instance. As the code has not yet completed, it is still showing as pending, right? Okay, so now it has been completed and it has added one resource. And now if you see, I got a instance name, a key name for this instance. So let us try to access this virtual machine from the PuTTY. So let us copy the public IP address. Let's go to the PuTTY. And since this is an Ubuntu image, the default username is Ubuntu @ the IP address. And let me select the ppk file which I have just created or downloaded basically. So it is in download section and this is the one. Let me open it up. And now let me open the EC2. Now it is authenticating and I am successfully logged into my machine. So let me quickly change this setting. This is the instance that we created. Now if I do ifconfig to check my IP address, it shows 172.31.40.156, which is the same IP address which has been assigned to this instance. Now let me show you the other way. The other way is that you have to create or generate a key pair using a PuTTY generator. Okay, now just click on generate, and if you just hover around this, it will create a new key pair. So now we have the public key here, if you see. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back to our Terraform code, and now I'm going to add an additional part which says additional resource for key pair. Let me show you the documentation first, how the argument looks like. So let's go back to the documentation, and I'm already on the resource AWS key pair. If you see, it has two requirement, key underscore name and the public key. And in this, the required argument is only the public key part. But let us give the key name and the public key and see how it works. So let me copy and paste, and let me give the name as key underscore pair. This is a unique ID associated with the resource key pair. The key name, now I have to give a key name which I am going to associate this with. So let me give that key name later. Let me first go to my PuTTY gen, copy the public key and let me paste it here. So now let me paste my public key which I have just copied, and now let us save the private key. Let me name this as first EC2. Okay, and save it. So now I have my public key, but I need the key name. So you can check the key name which was recently just saved. It is first-EC2. So let me go and type that in. Okay, now save this, and now you have to associate this resource also with the respective first EC2 instance. So let me copy this whole and associate my instance with the key first-EC2, and let me save it. So now let's see what happens when we write the command terraform plan. So it shows two resources that is going to be added. In the previous one, it has not added any resources because we have added that using the AWS in the key pair section under network and security. So now it creates a new key name called first-EC2, and the public key is this which I have just provided. And if you see on the top, it basically used the same private IP address and all that, but it will be converted, it will be changed. So it's gonna destroy the whole instance and it's gonna create a new one, and now it will change the key name from instance-linux to first EC2. Okay, so let me apply the change. So when you type Terraform apply code, it basically applies all the configuration changes and the modification that we just did. Let me authorize it by giving him yes. So now it says this instance is being destroyed, right? It's creating a new key pair. This instance key pair is being destroyed. Basically the ID is destroyed. Okay, now it is still destroying the instance. So in the meantime, let's go to a Linux instance and check what is happening. So let me refresh it. Instance which we have created earlier has been terminated and it is going to create a new one. So let me see what is happening in the command prompt. It is still in the creation stage, it's creating. Okay, so now it is complete. It has added two resources. One is key pair and the other is the instance. Let me refresh this page again. So now if you see, I have a new instance being created and the key pair name for that is first-EC2. And the same, since I told two resources has been created, right? So one of the resource is the instance and the other resource is basically a key pair which have been created here, right? Okay, so now let's go and access our instance which has been created now. So we can simply copy the public IP. Let's go to PuTTY application and same thing, we'll say Ubuntu @ paste the public IP address, go to SSH and provide the key pair location. So the key pair location is first-EC2. Let us open it and click on open. So now if you see, it is authenticated successfully. Change this setting to increase the font and let me check the IP address assigned to this. So if you see, the IP address that is assigned to this is 172.168.10.50, which is exactly the same which for the instance that has been created on the instance. I hope you got an idea how to access the Linux based instance using both of the methods which I have covered. In the part 1 and part of this series, I have covered the introduction and installation of Terraform, the guide to Terraform documentation, and how to set up a basic infrastructure using by spinning up a Ubuntu instance. I hope you had a great learning. If yes, please like and subscribe the video. Also, please provide your feedback in the comment and let me know of any topics that you want me to cover. Thank you. Thanks for watching the video.